Here is Immortal Moments for explanation. Friends, like videos and subscribes to our channel. Immortality Season 6 Episode 19 Explanation. So let's start our explanation. Yes, the evil spirits have always been scrupulous. Is it necessary to kill? 5 million days of magic together with the silence, the power generated is incredible, can hurt the master of the longevity secret, but after the death of the demon, it is necessary to collect new. It's a waste of effort to support the devil. It seems that the evil spirits will not use such means. He also has some means to defeat the enemy. Moreover, I feel that Fang Chun's Huang Quantu seems to be in a stage of transformation. If you don't use Huang Quantu, Fang Han can't beat the evil spirits. The picture is like a void creature, and the elders who are uncertain are opening again. This elder, called the migration elders, in other words, is the power to regulate the stars in the sky, and even make some small stars move the super powerful role. In the sky outside the world of Xianhuang, there are many small stars that block the brilliance of the stars, and they must be formed into a kind of formation method, so that the disciples of the stars gate can better absorb the power of the stars. The elders of moving stars are doing this kind of thing, and if the mana is not strong, it will not work. Of course, he is moving some dead things that don't shine, no power of stars. If you can emit the stars of the stars, it is called a star. It is a huge existence in the universe, and no martial art can match it. Constant is the eternal constant. Powerful, no one can move, unless it is the kind of immortal. Of course, even if you are not moving stars, you can move some small stars that are thousands of miles away, such as the flesh and mud, and the mana is also unacceptable. It is more powerful than the Huaqian of the mountains. Beyond the realm of the two immortal bodies of the longevity and mystery, I began to understand the laws of the universe. Therefore, the vision of this migrating star elder is very accurate. If you say it, you have to believe it. Sure enough, as he said, Fang Han did not use Huang Quantu, although he used the refining of the 90 kinds of magical powers, but he could not defeat the evil spirits. The life of the hang on the top of the head, wrapped in the flesh, Fang Han's body speed spurred to the maximum, the blink of an eye appeared in all directions, attacking the evil spirits' explosive squares of tens of miles. However, it is useless. The more powerful he is, the faster he attacks. The star gods of the evil spirits are also rising. The more powerful the guns are aimed at his fists. Every collision brings his strength. Completely resolved. People meet one. When Fang Han was wandering between the body and the body was shocked, the birth of life contracted again, violently concentrated, and turned into a rune of the Tao, tightly attached to the skin of his body, and all the mana of this life was entered. In the body of his own body, the whole person and the 99 kinds of magical intimate combination, the whole body approved a layer of clothing. Suddenly, his attacking power rose again, step by step, the airflow burst, the vitality collapsed waving a punch, even the star of the evil spirits of the gods was shaken off, and people would rob them in, completely suppressing the evils of the stars, forcing him to surrender and surrender. Pub Future adds. My physical body is tyrannical, comparable to the Taoist, the internal organs, the deep and wide, the people are in line with one, the heavens and the earth are shattered. The stars are evil, you will admit defeat. Another punch. Fang Han actually broke through most of the lighting ancient Buddha umbrella, golden light protection, and even caught the body of the evil spirits. As long as the protection of the lighting ancient Buddha umbrella is broken, the body that can kill the evil spirits can force him to admit defeat. Never hurt this person. Now this is the two people fighting. So far, there is no killer. Where is it so cheap? The star-killing body's back is erect, and a golden light is radiated from the body. It is circulated throughout, and the skin is completely converted into the color of the red gold, and the ancient Buddha among the ancient Buddha umbrellas. A color of the spirit, such as a golden man, exudes tyrannical power. It is actually a magical power of refining. The general monk, although the body is tyrannical, but very few have to go to special practice refining spirits, such as the gods and so on. This kind of cultivation is also particularly rare. Fang Han is a scorpion, and he has swallowed many medicinal herbs. There are 5 elements of the 5 emperors. The 5 elements of the scorpion protect the internal organs, and then refine the 6-eye seal of the monument, the internal organs of the 5 internal organs condensed into a piece only to blend the cover of the magic hand, cover the magic. Otherwise, whoever learns him is a dead, fleshy, and cannot exercise indiscriminately. But now, the evil spirits of the stars are the same as Fang Han. They have cultivated a certain kind of refinement and the body is tyrannical. King Kong Luohan, Bodhisattva ancient Buddha, the 10-party pure land, not bad golden body. Fang Han, you will be my body, is it very fragile? I have trained the mysterious Buddha's not bad golden body. Once stepped into the longevity secret, the combination of heaven and earth and the physical body are also easier to achieve the undead body than the average giant. The body of the evil spirits provokes the lion's general roar, not bad golden body, boxing out, exquisite, angled, and powerful, such as the projectile, only a punch, it resists the attack of Fang Han. At the same time, his metaphysical star body shined from behind, and actually formed a large array, wrapping Fang Han in it. The ancient Buddha umbrella. The star's evil spirits broke out, and the ancient Buddha's umbrella exploded with thousands of golden lights. In the golden light, there was a spell, and the suppression was on the top of Fang Han too, and the collapse collapsed. The 5 million day demon in this ancient Buddha umbrella sang in a vocal manner, and the sound was melodious, transforming the willpower into the power of repression and critting in the head. Well? So powerful. Fang Han rushed into the core, and was actually blocked by the evil spirits. The Yuanshan counterattacked and urged the power of the ancient Buddha umbrella to suppress. This was a difficult situation, and all sides were dense. Starlight, I can no longer see the outside situation, especially the verses of the verses in the thick starlight. Each singer is suppressed on his own mind, making his heart heavy. Can't say heavy. This burning ancient Buddha umbrella, the self-contained space inside, can be much more powerful than my 5 prisoners, my 5 prisons, the collection of 8 million days of magic, after the power to chase the device, but it is impossible. The demon transforms into a believer, providing a constant stream of willingness. And this burning ancient Buddha umbrella is far more than if you are fully charged with the demon, certainly more than 5 million, 50 million is possible. But the star evil only supports 5 million the power of the demon. If this magic weapon is given to me, how good it is, I will use the will of the gods to cultivate the power of Panwu, and do more with less. Although it was suppressed, Fang Han's heart was not afraid. The blood of the Taoist knives in his hand turned, and suddenly, in his own blood, the Emperor of the White Emperor reunited with one another, suddenly and vigorous, golden light boiling as a knife. It is like a of ancient creations, and it opens up the heavens and the earth, and all the stars are directly opened. Waves and waves, happy world. Between a move, Fang Han broke open the repression and restored freedom. Although the evil spirits of the stars are powerful, it is not an easy task to suppress the repairs into 90 kinds of great supernatural powers and to have the cold of the Tao. Although the King of Blood Night does not have the ability to collect objects, but the pure lethality is earth-shattering, especially after the combination with Fang Han's by Emperor Golden Emperor, the power is even greater. And Fang Han's blood now contains dragon power, urging the King of Blood Night, killing and slashing. After getting out of trouble, a mysterious blood flashed, only 2 or 3 feet long, but the knives in it continued to be swallowed up, the airflow around it was broken, and the knives ran through a place, creating a dark cave, madly sucking all the energy. Thousands of bees like a knife sway. The sorrow of the King of Blood Night appears in many places under the evil spirits of the star, but it is not killed, that is, the formation of thousands of black caves, surrounded by the evil spirits, tearing his whole body. When he got out of trouble, he used a large swallowing technique to devour his vitality. In the twinkling of an eye, he caused 1,000 black holes. The body of Fang Han was hidden in the knives, trying to shrink the strength of the body, and the opportunity to break out the strongest blow. Sure enough, this move actually brought in the effect. Thousands of black holes caused by the violent death of the spirits involved the evil spirits, causing the flames of the umbrellas on his head to shake and appear to be blown out. Fang Han, you are really powerful. If this is the case, then I will win the battle. Here is the Cave of the Stars. I just used the technique of the stars to unite. I urge the world to be strong. In this black hole the star's evil face changed, and suddenly a powerful thought broke out, and the whole person entered a realm of heaven and earth. Puff. Suddenly, above the sky and the sky of the stars, suddenly there are countless stars flashing, the power of the stars accumulated in the millions of years, not the profusion of the money to the body of the evil spirits. The power of the thriving stars is a shock, thousands of black holes, all explosions, swept away. He even mobilized the world. Stars' essence. This is the power of the sky through the stars. Since the opening of the horoscope, tens of thousands of years have not known how many stars have been absorbed. The disciples of the stars in the whole against the enemy can mobilize the power of the stars for their own use, in line with the heavens and the earth. This is the advantage of heaven and earth. Although the victory is not martial, but the things that have been compared in advance have not been said to be good, can't use this means. At the crucial moment, the evil spirits of the stars will not be taken care of, and the advantage of the geographical advantage will be used to mobilize the power of the stars and oppress the cold. With his cultivation, he has cultivated countless years in the sky of the stars, and the fit of the whole has been reduced to an intimate degree. This force fully mobilizes the power of the stars within the cave. His power has doubled. The whole metaphysical star body, the size of the mountain, is inflated, and the high is on the square, as the above 9 days is watching. A cockroach ant. A huge gun, hit down. The void around Fang Han is constantly cracking. The use of victory in the evil spirits of the stars, borrowing the power of the stars and stars in the sky, the mana inch skyrocketed, the light star of the gods expanded to an incredible level, and there was a kind of confrontation between Fang Han in an instant. The feeling of heaven. At the time of the huge star battle guns, Fang Hanyun contained the 90 kinds of the great magical powers, and they all felt the infinite pressure. Those magical powers almost stopped working, the body spine creaked, and the breathing was poor. Suffocating a little. This kind of means, knowing that it is borrowing the power of heaven and earth, won't win, but I can't blame it. Fang Han heart sighed secretly, the body's symbol again shrank, and hit a gun on the gun's tip. Suddenly, the two major forces broke out, and the heavens and the earth were like the landslide and tsunami. The following mountain peaks were blasted one after another, and they could not bear the aftermath of the two masters. The 6 true disciples who went even thousands of miles away hurried back. At this time, Fang Han and Kun Xingmen's first true disciple, the prestigious star of the evil spirits, had already alerted many of the true disciples of the stargates and flew together to watch. But seeing such a momentum, which one dares to approach the battlefield? Under the contact, Fang Han suddenly tumbling in the whole body, and the bones were distorted by the shackles. The magical powers of this life were also suffocated. Many of the weaker supernatural powers, stopped running, were interrupted by the supply of vitality. However, the life of the symbol is strong and abnormal, but there is no tendency to break. This is so powerful. This person's life is too outrageous. Here, it is a star of evil, and he is shocked. He is now cheating. With the power of the stars, the heavens and the earth, under the gun, constantly contain it has its own strength, and it also contains some powers of the entire cave. It is estimated that under the attack, Fang Han will have to fall to the ground, and the force will be soft and numb. But did not expect that Fang Han, in addition to retreating, did not call one. It almost shook his heart. You must know that in his current capacity with the power of the stars, there is already a little shameless. Actually, I haven't cleaned up Fang Han, so how can I clean up Fang Han? No matter what, although the victory is not martial, but the victory is to say, the heavens and the earth are strong. The stars are in the sky, blessing me, and rushing as the law. The star annihilates the guns, slanting to the sky, infinite stars, once again, you can see it in all directions with the naked eye. A star that grows like a road is like a road, wrapped in a star-killing body. At this time, the power of the stars and the sky is mobilized. The evil spirits are in an invincible position, and the mana is similar to the square with the tree of the world, and will not be exhausted. This is the benefit of the disciples of the stars in the cave. Similarly, the master of the feather gate will increase its strength in the temple of the feather, or on its own peak. Scold. The gun tip is killed again. More brave than just now, a phoenix nodded, surrounded by Fang Han, hid his life. The Fang Han played a few dozen miles away. Under his mobilization of the power of Dong Qian, Fang Han could not dodge, because now he is in the hole, the body is strongly crowded out by the stars, the biggest speed advantage is lost, the situation becomes very bad. In order to gain momentum, the stars have eliminated hundreds of guns in a row, and the guns have been spotted in Fang Han, so that he has only the power of parry and no effort to fight back. The situation has been completely controlled, and Fang Han is like a boat in the wind and rain, and will be destroyed at any time. The stars and the sky in the sky are crowded with him. How can he not suffer? Hey! Victory is not martial. Seeing this scene, the two giants of the Star Elders and Stars and Elders in the depths of the stars are sighing, although the star evil now accounts for absolute advantage. But if it is spread out, even if it wins the Fang Han, it is not something to be thankful for. Masters mobilized the power of Dong Qian? They cannot beat Fang Han, this is really a bit ridiculous. Wu Zi's eyes are somewhat dignified, looking at the battlefield in the distance, opening the road. But the master has taken the upper hand, and the master has not yet displayed the last trick. If the trick is to display, the 5 million demons will be destroyed together, and the destructive power that erupted can completely defeat Fang Han. The flowers are charming. Although this party has some chills, but our group of stars and Yuhuamen are still in the same breath. And this is a discussion. If you use a killer, it will not be easy to explain the Fang Han Yu. Fang Han has not yet published a picture of Huangquan. It may be his Huangquan map, it cannot be used at all, it is a broken goods. Yu Qianhua snorted. Hey! Stars destroy evil. You think? You have mobilized the power of the stars, you can beat me. Too naive. The life of the symbol turned into a virtual Dan. In the wave of rushing stars, Fang Han suddenly broke out, containing 90 kinds of magical powers, once again concentrated, an illusory golden Dan, rising, this virtual Dan, full of people's head size. There are devil, there are immortals, there are flames, there are sea waves, there are clouds, there are dragons and tigers, there are more hot sun, wind, all kinds of blood, infants, 5 elements of the devil. The 2 demons are concentrated, and there are dark caves, dark lines, representing large phagocytosis and large cutting. Of course, there are 20 kinds of stars and supernatural powers in operation. These are the 20 kinds of stars and magical powers. They have produced a star power and actually began to control the star power of the stars. It's awkward. There are thunder shining everywhere, the snail is blowing, and the drum is like a battlefield. The power of the stars that were oppressed by Fang Han, the power of the cave, all scattered, and even the star gods of the star evil spirits were shaken off, and cracks appeared on the guns. Virtual Dan. Half-step Jin Dan. The star is stunned. He knows that if Fang Han is really condensed into Jin Dan, then he is definitely not an opponent. But even if it is not Jin Dan, it is a virtual Dan, and the power is amazing. Fortunately, the change of virtual Dan requires a lot of energy and will not last long. Fang's mana should not be supported, only for a while. As a result, he repeatedly displayed changes in Xian Gong, and once again mobilized more stars to suppress and go to Fang Han. Under his mobilization, the void in the 4 sides of the hole burst into bursts. More starlights flew out and formed a star mountain. Squeezed toward the virtual dragon of Fang Han. Big mountain top. If you want to give birth to his virtual Dan back to the original shape, then Fang Han will be discouraged and fail. A star mountain, the storm is down. This kind of power is simply horrible and boundless. Both sides are showing violent means in *** naked, to fiercely fierce. Strong to strong. At this time, who is more powerful than the magic, who has the vast mana, who has a long breath, who will be able to achieve the ultimate victory? Seeing the stars of the mountains and falling down from the top of the head, Fang Han's face showed a cruel smile. It seems that everything is under control, and it seems that he is desperately trying to use the secret method. He opened his mouth and rushed out with a vigorous spirit. This element is pure and innocent, and it is a fairy, and it forms a virtual shadow of the fairy, showing the mystery of the fairy world. This is the celestial spirit he has been accumulating. The celestial spirit. How so many? Not only is the star evil, but the other 6 disciples, even the migration elders and star-stern elders, watched in the void, were shocked. The elders with long eyebrows were shocked. The size of the celestial power is so comparable to us. On this person, there should be opinions that can absorb the gems of the celestial spirit, perhaps the fragments of the ancient fairy, perhaps the magical use of Huangquantu, that it is covered by him. It is difficult to see, so that he can refine its understandable to make Yuan Ying Dan. After all, we have to use the temperament of the celestial world to temper the flesh and to rule the laws of the heavens and the earth. It costs a lot. There is no surplus at all, and possessing this magic weapon means having one. The embarrassment of the longevity and mystery helps him to absorb the celestial spirit. The moving star elders, dignified. If the average person has a tree of the world, it will certainly be seen, but Fang Han's cultivation has the emperor's power, covering up the breath, and even the master of the longevity secret is difficult to see through, unless it is the mana bombardment into his body. Can be explored. He has swallowed up so many celestial elements. Is it because he wants to condense Jin Dan? Suddenly, the star-stern elders squinted. How could it be so rash? 90 kinds of magical powers, condensed into Golden Dan. How big is it? Nothing? He is not enough. It turned out that Fang Han spouted the celestial spirit, rolling, never stopping, and all the elements of these days were sprayed out, even in the tree of the world in his eyebrows. There was a ***** fruit, and it was also blasted. Turned into vitality and rushed into his virtual Dan. Moreover, he killed thousands of Shura in the ground. The white hair flies, the blood of the big Ashura, has been stored in the map of Huangquan, and the pureness of the washing with Huangquan Xingshui has now been released, spewed from the mouth, pouring into the mouth. Among the virtual Dan. This time, the original virtual Dan, more and more brilliant. It seems that a round of hot sun exudes infinite light and heat, blazing light, melting the mountain into the peak of the stars, all the power of the stars, other 20 stars in his virtual Dan, all absorbed. How could he absorb the power of the stars in my star-studded sky? What kind of magical power does he cultivate? It seems to be the power to restrain my star-studded magical powers, so weird. Stars elders saw this scene, fears stand up. This is. The empty space of the aging star has also fluctuated wildly, this kind of star magic. He seems to want to see the mystery of Fang Han Jin Dan. However, Fang Dan's Jin Dan is getting more and more embarrassed. The power is getting bigger and bigger. Unless he is motivated to forcefully see it, he will not be able to wear it. However, if he uses force, this will destroy the battlefield, and it will be bullied and influenced too badly. What's more, Yu Huamen is now the object of cooperation with the group of stars. In fact, Fang Han is using the power of the magical power of the Stars Promise Book. The Star Master has knocked out the mystery of this supernatural power and taught it to him. He has been thinking. Fang Han's Jin Dan is getting more and more awkward and more breathtaking. The power of the stars has met him, and all of them have been swallowed. They all fall into the stars of the promise, and then promise book spit out, nourishing the rest of the stars. All kinds of stars and gods, such as Qingsha refining thunder, selling star magic knife, big annihilation meteor shower, Bida big handprint, Star King descended to the world, and so on, constantly rising. The power of the stars and caves, mobilized by the stars and evils, did not cause any suppression to him. Because the Stars and Promise Book is a magical way in the distant universe, the huge, infinite star palace, Taoism is the nemesis of the star-shaped doorway, or the source of the stars. Because of this, when the Star Master saw the magical power of the Starless Book, he was shocked and even stunned. After getting the law, even the Star Master spent 1,000 years of life inferring the ultimate mystery of this law. Fang Han estimates that this Star Master has not yet fully calculated, and has to go back to the retreat, or to go to the elders with the stars, and once again calculate the mystery of this door, all calculated. However, this is for him, but it is after the longevity. After stepping into the longevity secret, rehabilitating the magical powers, the star's promise book is the object of his abandonment. In the future, it will definitely be stripped out of this magical power, sealed on a magic weapon, and refining one's own magic weapon. His main core is the 5 emperors. Later, I opened the Huangquan treasury and got the cultivation method of the 99 kinds of supreme reincarnation of Huangquan, which is the most correct choice so far. After the recultivation of the magical powers, every monk in the long-lived mystery will refine a magical weapon, seal his supernatural powers, and seal it in the magic of the life. Fang Hanxin had already made some calculations in his heart. After he cultivated himself to the longevity secret, he sacrificed the 8 floating sects as his own magic weapon. Seal all useless magical powers. Although Huangquan 2 is good, it is not refining itself. I am afraid there are some obstacles, not to mention, Fang Han is deeply rooted in the heart and does not believe in. It's not because there is anything wrong with. It is a cultivation of one, but a strong self, all the way through the thorns. With I, as the core, and outside of me, there is no other thing. Heaven and earth must serve the core of I, and cannot rely on foreign objects and have any dependence on people. Once you rely on it and lose the spirit of *** creation, it will be over. Every great supernatural person has such determination and ideas. Otherwise, no major achievements can be achieved. With I, as my heart, Jin Dan condenses. The heavens and the earth exist because of me, the sun and the moon run because of me, the wind and the clouds are shaken by me, the golden nature is immortal and it lasts forever. Fang Han issued a majestic voice. At this moment, the heavens and the earth are shaking for him. The voices of his grandeur are spreading everywhere. It seems that he has to break through the void and pass it to the faraway, let all the existence know that he is about to become a golden dragon. There are 90 magical golden dragons. Coming soon. Whether it is the lighting ancient Buddha umbrella, or the Yuanshan star body, or the star of the evil spirits, it is completely forced to retreat, the pressure of Fang Han that Jin Dan, even oppress it to the ground, drop it, put the pressure of his life on the ground, worship. Gathering Jin Dan? Useless. The ancient Buddha umbrella glows golden light, no use. It is still useless to mobilize the power of the stars and holes again. Pub Future adds. His body, like a big turtle, was curled up and the entire metaphysical star body was directly compressed back into the body. He is very unremarkable, he has never had this moment, and he has been so upset. I don't believe that you have so much energy you can consolidate the golden dragons of 90 kinds of magical powers. Even so, I have to touch you, burn the lights, the gods are dead. 5 million days of magic give me silence. At this moment, the star destroys the enemy and knows that although he fails, Fang Han will not kill himself. However, grievances are inevitable. How can a character like him endure grievances? As a result, he finally showed his own powerful move, and all the 5 million demons that were converted into the lighting ancient Buddha umbrella were completely destroyed. Although this ancient Buddha umbrella, the 5 million days of the demon began to be shocked by tens of thousands of heads, but it is a slap in the face, does not affect the overall situation. Among the ancient Buddha umbrella flames, the densely faced demon, the face showed a very pious expression, sitting around the ancient Buddha spirit, constantly singing various verses, and then began to burn itself. The ancient Buddha umbrella is a Taoist, medium-quality device which contains space. It is not the 5 prison kings, but can only accommodate the invisible gods. Among the 5 million days of the ancient Buddha umbrella, but there is a devil. These devils, the body burns, and the power generated after the annihilation is also extremely large. A force that was neither devastating nor regenerative broke out from it and suddenly formed a terrible fetus. There is nothing to describe the horror that is brewing in it. Isn't it enough? At this moment, all the elements accumulated by Fang Han were consumed, but Jin Dan still did not condense, but he was keenly aware that the evil spirits were driving a horrible method. However, he has been prepared. 450 Black King snakes, give me a blow. Fang Hanxin thought, moving himself in the yellow spring figure, all the Black King snakes soaked in the water of love, all exploded. The mighty blood, the vitality, all were taken out and sent to their own golden Dan. He has already prepared. The hundreds of black water king snakes, soaked in the river of forgotten love, have long been washed away with impurities, and they have driven away all the different spirits. Fang Han is to take them out of the crisis and provide them with the key to consolidate Jin Dan. The strength. 451 black water king snakes, all the demons of the magical mystery. Hey! Some even enlightened the yin and anode, which is equivalent to the supernatural monk of the supernatural powers. If you get all the auctions in the market of the great Emperor Empire, the value is no less than nirvana. Fang Han's all made them explode. All the mana, vitality, and blood were turned into a blood dragon and rushed out again. Laugh! It was like a flaming mountain, and it was poured out of the oil of a lake. The brilliance of Fang Han Jin Dan's captain turned into a substantial crystal man's. The entire star-studded cave was full of glaring white light, and no one could see anything. The thunder of silence. Boom! Among the crystal mansions of the Fang Han Jin Dan Pai, the land is filled with a golden mountain. On top of this golden mountain, the thick thunder is entangled, but it is not an ordinary thunder, but a kind of golden thunder, which is the sudden explosion of 5 million days of magic, resulting in a thunderbolt. This asterisk of thunder, even if the master of the longevity secrets encountered, if you do not dodge, do not need any magic weapon to resist, but also hurt. This is the first true disciple of the group of stars. Only one step can step into the killer of the longevity secret, not easy to close, not always. This golden mountain-like asterisk thunder, the plains poured out, and the cold Jin Dan, the court resisted. Dragon God Dan. At this moment, Fang Han took out a gourd without hesitation. There are 5 dragon gods in the gourd. Originally, there were 9 pieces taken from the dragon star, but he took one of his own, 1 baby in the nebula, 1 in the Black King, and 1 in the King. There are 5 left now. These 5 powerful medicinal herbs are not taken by him. Instead, they suddenly become a scent and are integrated into the blood of the Black King snake. Hey! 5 medicinal herbs, originally owned by Lonely, the spirits of the Blackwater King snake took these medicinal herbs and suddenly turned into a strip of virtual dragons, once again absorbed by Jin Dan. Hey! At this moment, Fang Han's Jin Dan finally has the most sufficient strength. Once again, it has become an entity. The moment that this condensed into a solid body, the body of Fang Han's body disappeared, and it was actually taken to the deepest core by Jin Dan. When Jin Dan was transformed, all the magical powers and the body were tempered. Finally, the physical life was greatly increased, and the magical power was also more flexible. This is a kind of water and milk blending behavior, so the master is changing the golden dragon. At that time, Shouyuan will increase greatly, and the more Shentong, the stronger the Shouyuan. At this time, Fang Han's 90 kinds of magical powers are all integrated with their own flesh and blood, and people are among Jin Dan. Jin Dan is also among the people and has become a wonderful existence. His body, all kinds of strength, all in one, in the midst of it, he feels his life, certainly 9,000 years old. Because, he seems to be faintly felt, the limits of the Wan Yen rule. His flesh, between the Jin and Dan, blended again and became powerful, and it was powerful to a horrible realm. Every inch of skin, every inch of muscle and bones changed. Even each of his hairs showed great power. If someone can get one of his hair, after refining, it can become a very powerful weapon like a flying needle. A drop of sweat on his body is a precious water emperor. Just as his body was pulled into the golden Dan, it rose to the thunder of Jin Shan. A fierce explosion, but it has no use. The brilliance of only the fried Jin Dan was scattered on all sides, and the core was not affected at all. Because this Jin Dan is not a virtual Dan, but a real Jin Dan. Fang Han stepped into the Shentong 7, the key Jin Dan realm. Become a young giant. And it is the golden Dan with 90 kinds of supernatural powers, which is infinitely close to the long-lived giants. If he is the original 56 kinds of magical powers, he becomes a golden dragon, and the thunder of the silence may also hurt him and affect his Dancheng. But now, it is impossible. Rumble. After the explosion of the dying thunder, Jin Dan Silk did not move, Fang Han suddenly fell from it. Jin Dan concentrated, entered his mind, all the pressure, all disappeared, but everyone felt the horror of this person. It seems to face the giants of the ancient times generally have a feeling of powerlessness in the depths of their hearts. Stars are evil. You still don't admit defeat. Fang Han, step out. Jin Dan. Fang Han actually built Jin Dan. And it is the real golden dragon of the 90 kinds of magical powers. The achievements of Jin Dan in 90 kinds of magical powers are rare in the past 10,000 years. How difficult is it to make Jin Dan in 90 kinds of magical powers? It is not enough energy, you can achieve it. The key is that the more magical powers, the more chaotic the vitality, the need for great wisdom, the determination to surrender and the conditioning. And the more magical powers, the harder it is to raise the realm. Every kind of supernatural power, although it is a force, is also an obstacle. The so-called supernatural power is bigger and the obstacles are deeper. Once there was an ancient monk, this theory was put forward. Some monks even put forward the absurd theory that magical powers are not important and that they do not need magical powers. However, the more magical powers there are, the harder it is to raise the realm. This is an iron fact. Fang Han can actually be cultivated. It can be said to capture the creation of the heavens and the earth, set the spirit of the sun and the moon, and participate in the mystery of the fairy. The rules of the universe. It lies in his profound understanding of spiritual practice and the removal of obstacles. Be brave and refined. In the past, Fang Han was thinking about it, first cultivated Jin Dan, and then refined the 9 ghosts. At that time, you can also sweep the existence of the mysterious secrets and hope to defeat He Qian. Now, he actually refines the 9 ghosts and then rebuilds Jin Dan, which is even more powerful. This one after the other is the essential difference. Now his 90 kinds of magical powers can be described as a sacred magical power, and are closely related to his own life. Ghost Emperor's powerful magical powers, he was integrated into his own flesh and blood, and the magical power was also surrendered by his great strength, turning the devil into a Tao. Mana has been infinitely close to 100 million. 1 person and 1 dragon. It is for billion. At this time, although he is a master of Shentong's 7 golden dragons, but the Mana tyrannical, have been standing on the peak of the supernatural powers. Next, I saw that he had survived the 8-fold hurricane, and the 9 condensed the heavens and the earth, and he changed his life. The 3 realms also need to be understood one by one. Now, even if it is a long-lived mysterious giant, it will not kill him. He can completely retreat. Like He Qianju, I met the Emperor and I was calm. Pub Future adds. Step by step, the speed of Fang Han suddenly increased several times. At this moment, his blows have been infinitely close to the long-lived mysterious giants. Although there is no such pressure and shock from the ancient giants, there is naturally a shackle of the world. Stars destroy evil eyes. Fang Han stepped over and came to him. His golden light of the lighting ancient Buddha umbrella was constantly torn, and it was like a broken bamboo. Although this is a medium-quality device, but because of the 5 million devout gods inside, all of them are burning and burning, the power is greatly weakened, but it is unable to withstand the blow of Fang Han. Seeing Fang Han is going to hit a boxer on himself. On the face of the evil spirits, there was a decisive decision. After the contraction, the Yuanshan star body covered the body of the whole person, and then exhaled and opened the sound, mixing the golden body, and punching it away. The power of the stars in the stars and the sky all gathered wildly on him, and he once again mobilized the world. However, this is a loss. 2 punches touch each other. Fang Han's body just shook a little. The star evil spirits, full body starlight exploded, the whole people burned fireworks, flew straight out, glided hundreds of miles in the air, hitting a mountain, his face pale. Fang Han is in the air, dragons and tigers, breathless, such as stellar illumination, such as the sun and the moon, giving people a heavy oppression. He stepped out again, actually appeared 6 shadows, and appeared in the periphery of the 6 disciples watching, one palm pressed down. Wuzi deficiency, flower charming, Yutian Hua, Tibetan Wei. There are 2 masters who have survived the raging fire, and they are all shocked. At the same time, they burst out and fight against the magic weapon. However, Fang Han lightly and easily pressed between them. All their magic weapons, magical powers, were shaken, and people fell to the ground. However, Fang Han did not hurt them. The big sleeves waved, and a soft wind lifted them up and sent them to the side of Star Destroy. I am new to supernatural powers, can't take pictures. Please also forgive me. Stars destroy evil friends, let's fight, how about? Fang Han stood in the air, holding his hands, watching the stars destroy evil mana, to resolve some minor internal injuries. Under this time, he did not show his hot hands. At this moment, he is in the middle of the stars and the poisonous hands of the true disciples who have great potential for the stars. It must be impossible, let alone Fang Han will draw them at this moment. This is just showing your strength. This person, the mana is too horrible. Actually shot at the same time, hitting us 6 people, they all shocked us. Yu Tianhua stunned, although he was not injured, but also felt that he was previously provoked. How cold the danger is the behavior of. He is now Jin Dan Daocheng. In terms of strength alone, he can rank in the top 3 in the longevity candidate list. I don't know what will happen to him after he and Hua Qianju. Now no one needs to do it. Listen to me, evil ways. Congratulations to Fang Han Daoyu, Jin Dan Daocheng. The golden dragons of the 90 kinds of magical powers are rare. But the more magical powers, the more obstacles. The next step for Taoist friends to experience the most horrible fire. The higher the magical power, the more serious the raging fire, the past, the mana reconstruction, and the inability to pass. All the cultivation is turned into a bubble. The evil spirits flew up and the eyes flowed. This time I lost a trick. When I fulfilled my promise, I stopped being a true disciple and turned to an elder. It doesn't have to be like this. Fang Han smiled slightly. Actually, I don't want to worry about the things inside your stargates, but now the big robbery falls, the monastic circles are not calm. We need to unite, not hate each other. Stars detoxification friends need to forget the water. I will not be jealous. Take it. As for the magical symbols of the 5 elements, this time I came to the Stars Gate to discuss and organize a group of law enforcement elite disciples to safeguard the peace of the fairy. Elite disciples must be mastered, so I am willing to let go of the 5 elements and practice together. As for the Nebula baby, although I am his big brother, I am not willing to encourage him. If you withdraw from the competition, then he will have a smooth sailing, no pressure, and no great achievements. It is like our feathering door, just because I have a duel with Hua Qian, so I will grow up quickly. So, for the stars, for the Nebula baby, you should not quit the true disciple, be an elder. A yellow water vapor rushed directly to the star evil. Forget the water. The star annihilated the big joy, and quickly pulled out a gourd, all loaded in. With this water, my grasp of the longevity secret is much greater. At this point, he wiped out the decadence in the hands of Fang Han. Forgetting the water is something that even the elders of the heavens need. Washing their own vitality can help to cultivate the undead body. Huang Quan's emperor was able to cultivate to the longevity secrets of the past 10 years. In fact, part of it relied on the power of forgetting the water. The things that make up the law enforcement disciples are of great importance, but the Taoist friends are willing to share the 5 elements. That would be great. In this way, I have to report to the Supreme Master and discuss with many elders. Excellent. After all, for people like him, what kind of grievances and humiliations are not cultivated into the longevity secret? For the longevity of the world, you can give up everything. I am going to stay here for a while and discuss with you. Right, the star-killing Taoist friend actually cultivated the mysterious Buddha's magical powers. I also have a Buddhist magic weapon. I don't know how to sacrifice. Let's ask each other about the Tao. After the exquisite fairy goddess for 4,000 years, go to the gift. Fang Han is very interested in the burning ancient Buddha umbrella of the evil spirits. Mainly to collect the demon inside, can make the devil turn violently into piety. This is simply a means of anti-day. The devil is not tamed, even if Fang Han uses Huang Quan Tu, they can only suppress them and then wash them into medicinal herbs. It is impossible to turn them into piety. If this means is learned, it is very useful for refining the magic weapon of the future. It can even change the structure of the 5 prisoners. Think about it, in the 5 prisons, the collection of 8 million days of magic, and then turn them into pure and devout believers, how much to give their willingness. Helping you to cultivate yourself will definitely go further. Of course, the vitality needed to support 8 million demons is also amazing. Even the stars can only support 5 million devils. However, Fang Han has a tree of the world and is not afraid. Affordable. Give Ling Long Xianzuan worship life? This is a big event. Stars destroy evil also know this thing. Ling Long Xianzuan is very generous, her exquisite and blessed female monks are concentrated, many monks are willing to go, see if they can, and the female disciples formed a fairytale fate. I learned the fruit together. I also prepared a gift to go forward. This is not to make a female monk, but to create a Buddha grass. If you can, I can use it to sculpt my ancient lamp umbrella and enhance my power. The exquisite and blessed land is the true land of heaven and earth, and almost all the rare and precious grasses in the world can be found in it. Fang Han read the worlds. There are some things that are detailed in the exquisite land. When Fang Han accepted the star evil in the water, many elders who watched it were relieved. This cold is really not aggressive. Star's ruling elders nodded again and again. I am forgotten about the wonders of the water, I also want to see some. It is also very helpful for me to cultivate my undead body. It seems that I am looking for opportunities, to the side. It's cold to ask for a little bit of water. I don't want to forget the water, I just want to ask him, the magical star of cultivation, what is it? Actually restrain the magical power of our stars. He has been cultivated as an immortal body, and he began to understand the mystery of the space. He was impressed when Fang Hansha exhibited the power of the stars to absorb the stars. With his cultivation, moving the stars, arranging a large array, with intuition can feel it, Fang Han Shentong is extremely wonderful. This video will end here. Like video and subscribe to my channel.